I have a feeling of doom, of impending doom. For the past 5 days I've been feeling this way, and nothing in my life, nothing I have going on should make me feel like this. Now, I've been feeling weird for the past couple weeks, not my same self, kind of down, but ever since Saturday, I've been feeling actually depressed with my anxiety through the roof. And I'm almost constantly feeling tension, like shaking, like something bad is about to happen for me, and there should be nothing bad about to happen for me. There's nothing happening for me at all on the horizon. Usually if I get feelings like this, especially if they're strong, like right now, something does happen. Something tends to happen afterwards. I don't know if I'm just feeling it for the hurricane victims, if I'm just picking up their energy. Maybe I'm picking up something else, I don't know. But I've got this feeling of worry, dread, anxiety, depression, and it's been really strong for the past 5 days, and I'm having a problem getting out of it. And I'm anti-medication, so I'm not going to take any magic pill to help me. I'm just trying to think through it, if that's even going to work. My question is, has anybody else been feeling this way who's not in the path of a hurricane or doesn't have some looming disaster coming up in their own personal life on the horizon?
Does anyone else wholeheartedly feel in their chest like something bad is about to happen? I have literally felt heavy, scared, nervous all day. And this isn't like your normal, just like everyday anxiety. This is like, to my core, I feel like something bad is about to happen. With these hurricanes, with everything political going on, I just feel like something is coming. And I don't even know what that something could be or would be, but my spirit is unsettled. I'm not a religious person, but I'm definitely a spiritual person, and my spirit is heavy. It is shaken. I'm just sitting out on my back deck in the dark, and just contemplating life. Does anyone else feel this way? Am I crazy? Or does anyone else just feel something's not right? I guess all we can do now is wait.
Y'all, there is something terrible about to happen. And I'm not just talking about in Florida, I'm talking about everywhere. I'm talking about, I was putting up my groceries, I want to say an hour ago, and I heard a loud pitch ringing in my ear, where I literally stopped in my tracks. I couldn't do anything else. I stopped in my tracks. I feel like it's the end of the world. Like, I feel like the apocalypse is coming, and a lot of us aren't ready. But something is about to happen. I feel it in my soul.
Is it just me? Or does the sheer volume of chaos in our country right now make you wonder what the hell is going on? It seems almost of biblical proportions. There's just a gut feeling in me right now that something drastic is about to happen in this country, and it's scary. Do you have this same gut feeling? This is crazy.
Listen, I just want to make something clear. I'm not fear-mongering. I'm telling you, you should be fucking scared. You understand? We just went through a bunch of crazy shit, and now we got a bunch of crazy shit coming towards us. So if you don't think that you should be scared of what's coming, then you must not live here. Because it is scary. What people just went through along the coast is fucking scary. What the people are going through up north is fucking scary. I'm giving people information that they need. I'm not fear-mongering. I'm telling you, you should be scared.
I don't know if somebody feeling what I'm feeling, but that whole White House shit going on, with this whole president thing going on, and after January 20th, it's a whole shit show right now. It's ugly. I don't feel good about none of it. Okay? You think that you're in a thunderstorm right now, but after January 20th, boo, there's gonna be a hurricane coming through this bitch. You think 2020, not this bullshit COVID now, 2020, boo, whatever they got brewing, you cough, that shit gonna take us out. Cause I don't know what Elon Musk got up his sleeve, and he's not into us. He's a billionaire. He got lots of money. He's not interested in us, but God got him though. Cause his little lie fell out the sky. That little satellite lie, that shit fell out the sky. And there's a lot of things that's coming to surface. But you know, your mom used to tell you it got to get dirty before it get clean. Ooh, God, how much dirtier it got to get? Cause it's getting real funky. It ain't stink no more. This shit done got funky. And after 2024, 25, with Trump coming up in there, Trump is not who I'm worried about. It's all them clowns that he got working under him. Okay? But what I do know is when you start hitting American people in their pockets, shit gonna change around here. Y'all think the shit's funny, but tell the shit start hitting you in your damn pocket. That's why me and my husband came up with a conversation that we not doing anything extra, we're not buying nothing. We gonna actually invest in another generator around this motherfucker. That's what we gonna do. We gonna stock up with the water, get some dry goods, get ready to get woo. Get yourself together and get you some stuff that you got to survive out here, just in case they didn't shut this whole light shit down around here. That's the vibes I'm feeling. Because nobody at that White House is giving me vibes of they're for the people. Okay? When you go to the doctor, them like, you take your little poor ass up out of here, boo. We need real insurance, not that Medicaid shit. I'm keeping it real. I'm for real. All that shit going out the window. I just pray that I'm wrong. But that's the vibes that I'm getting. But what I do know, that little shit show they got going on over there at that White House, when God put his hand down, ooh, baby, he's gonna rock that boat. And the people that love God, we not gonna be on that boat. That's all I'm gonna tell you. That's the little hope I got you. The one that God love ain't gonna be on that boat, so we got some hope. Don't worry, okay? We gonna be all right. The one that God love ain't gonna be on that boat, so we got some hope. Don't worry, okay? We gonna be all right.
Shalom. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching his truth that's going all around the earth. And shalom to the hopeful elect. It's your brother Atazuan from the Great Millstone in St. Louis. And going to get into a lesson based on those two short clips that we had in the front, right? I got those clips from the brother's channel. I think it's Mercy for the Elect 144. I think that's the name of his channel. But anyway, you can see that you have various different types of people, right? And let's just say they don't know anything about the truth, but they could feel something is wrong, all right? They could sense through their own spirit that something is wrong, all right? That this is not what they thought it would be, all right, at this time in their lives, okay? Now, the first guy, he mentioned a word or a couple of words known as impending doom. And matter of fact, let me just read this because the brother had it in the front of the clip, Daniel 12:1, and we'll read it. It says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble," right? And that's what they're sensing, okay, that there's a time of trouble coming, that there's an eerie feeling in the air, right? That something is amiss, something is not right. And they're absolutely right, you know, for those of the world, yeah, okay? But the brothers and sisters and the young children, all right, that believe this truth and gospel of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you know, we have no fear. There's nothing to worry about, right? Because we know that these things are going to happen. We've been warned of them, and we're going to read some of those warnings, and we're going to read how the Lord is going to handle matters, right, in these last days, because that's what we're talking about, the prophecies of the last days, okay? So going on, it says, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered. Right, what people? The elect of the Lord, okay? the elect of Yahweh Shem Yahushua out of the nation of Israel, right? As we always go into Zechariah 13, 8, and 9, right? That talks about the 1/3 and 2/3 destruction. Okay, so there's a small remnant that the Lord is going to deliver. All right. Everyone that shall be found written in the book, and that will be the elect. Let's go down to verse 2, and it says, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. Right. Those that have received the word through the Spirit, right? The men that the Lord used on the earth, his prophets, his teachers, okay, who are preaching this 100% gospel, which comes out of the One West, okay, and particularly now in these days of the great millstone, all right, and like-minded preaching brothers, okay, to preach the truth to you, okay. Verse 3, and they that will be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. But thou, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time, of the end, right? So if it was sealed until the end, and now we get to the point, let's just fast forward a little bit to our Lord and Savior, Yahushua, who went to the cross, right? Conquered death, sits at the right-hand side of the Father. The seals of the book is loose now. So now the flowing of the Spirit and the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of what was in the scriptures, right, prophetically, right, has been broken down to you, okay, because we're in the last days. We're in the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased, right? So the knowledge of this wisdom, the knowledge of this book and the prophecies, okay, it has increased men, all right, as well as women and children, right? Those are the truth. But even those in the world, right, even on the left-hand side, their knowledge has increased, right, on how to do more wickedness, you see? So the Heavenly Father controls all. But the whole point being that trouble is on the horizon. Now let's go over here to Google. And y'all forgive me, I'm struggling with a little bit of a sinus infection, so, you know, I'm not 100%, so y'all forgive me here. AI overview, it says a feeling of impending doom is a sense that something life-threatening or tragic is about to happen, even when there's no obvious danger. It can be caused by a number of factors, including mental health condition, such as anxiety, and there are a lot of people who suffer with anxiety, okay? But this goes to show you that whether a person has anxiety or not in this time, you know, they could sense that something is very, very wrong, okay? And going on, it just says such as heart attack or pulmonary embolism, all these other different things that they say could bring on that feeling of impending doom. No, they know through the Spirit, this man's kingdom is getting ready to end. Life is going to change as you know it, okay? And the happy days of Babylon the Great are gone. All right. This is Malachi 4:1. It reads, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly shall be stubble. Right. And what do you do with stubble? You burn it. Okay. It turns to ash almost immediately once the flame hits it, and it then floats away, or it may even just drop down to the ground. Okay. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall, and ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet. In the day that I shall do this, saith the Lord of hosts, remember ye the law of Moses my servant, which I commanded unto you in Horeb, for all Israel with the statutes and judgments. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord, Yahweh, right, by Hashem Yahushua, and he shall turn the hearts of the fathers, the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse, right? And so now you see men who have repented, right, through the Holy Spirit. And once more, even Elijah, if you can receive it, and if not, oh well, we liken is Abba Bivens, who taught what the truth back in the 60s. All right. Okay. So through that man's work, right, we learned up into this generation. We basically 3-4 generations in, maybe 3 generations in since Abba Bivens taught, right? If I got my history together. All right. So let's go over here to Isaiah 66, and we're jumping right here, verse 10. And as you see here, it says the joy in Jerusalem future, right? And which is what we're reading there in Malachi. Okay, that when we get in the kingdom, man, everything is going to be all good. But first, this terrible time and this destruction must come, right? It's called Jacob's trouble. You see, a time like no other. All right, so this is Isaiah 66 and 10. It reads, "Rejoice ye with Jerusalem, and be glad with her, all ye that love her. Rejoice for joy with her, all ye that mourn for her, that ye may suck and be satisfied with the breast of her consolation, that ye may milk out and be delighted with the abundance of her glory. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will extend peace to her like a river, and the glory of the Gentile like a flowing stream, and then shall ye suck, ye shall be born upon her sides, and be dandled upon her knee." Yeah, like a mother with a young child, All right. For the glory is going to come. The good days for Israel are upon us. All right. Once we get through these times, okay, the kingdom is on its way. Verse 13, "As one whom his mother comforted, so will I comfort you, and ye shall be comforted in Jerusalem. And when ye see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like an herb, and the hand of the Lord shall be known towards his servants, and his indignation towards his enemies," right? So the Lord is coming to get payback, right? Particularly to Esau, Edom, and then the other nations for what they did to the children of Israel. All right, there's a payment that has to be paid. Okay. Verse 15, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire." And what's that fire? The fire from the chariots, the fire from the nuclear warheads, right? The Lord is going to destroy Babylon with fire, right? With sparks, with tempests, with wind. You see, everything is going to be dissolved here. "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire." You see, "For by the fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many." Right, a great number of people are going to die. Okay, so this negates the preaching, if you will, of those in the Christian church who tell you that God loves everybody. The Lord's getting ready to kill a massive number of people. Okay. All right. Verse 17, "They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord." Right. All you liars, all you lying preachers in these Christian churches, you're not teaching the people the real truth. Okay. After you come out of church, your ass go get some barbecue ribs and going home eating a pot of pig feet. You see? Eating all kind of abominable stews and what have you. The Lord's going to kill your ass. That's just the way it is. That's what it's saying. Okay. Now what do I have here? Salakia. I think this is 2nd Ezra 15, I believe. Yep. Let's see. Where do I want to start? Let me see here. Trying to decide where. Let's Let's jump in. And I really want to read the whole thing, but let's see. Let's just jump in at 14. All right, it reads, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands," right? And this is what they're feeling, right? That there's danger, impending doom, as he said. All right, people are restless. Their souls are restless. Okay, they're not comfortable anymore. You see? And the Lord is taking the mirth out of this place. You see these people who are struggling, trying to prepare themselves for the upcoming wicked holidays of Thanksgiving and so-called Christmas. All right, they're trying their best to get people in the mood, but it's not working. You see, people are feeling a feeling of despair at this time. Okay? "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another and with swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes." Right. So none of the elected officials, right, during this time when all hell breaks loose, nobody's going to listen to them. Right. It'll be, as they used to say, every man for himself. Okay, that's what's going to happen. "In the course of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." You see? So nothing but horror and terror is coming, okay? And you got all these people in these quiet little towns now who are so afraid, right? Because, as they say, you got quote-unquote migrants who are flooding in to their quiet little peaceful white towns, their gated communities, you see? And so now they starting to panic. All right? Let's get over here to 2nd Ezra 13. And let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to start at verse 1. All right, because we always talk about how the Lord is going to do this thing, man. He's going to show up in his great chariot, all right, and with the armies of heaven with him, and they're going to be in their chariots. And you see more and more reports now from all of these Navy pilots, regular commercial pilots, and so on, and NASA live feeds that show you that the chariots are real, okay? Although they call them, UAPs or unidentified aerial phenomena or UFO, right? Unidentified flying objects. They know exactly what they are. They're chariots of the Lord, okay? And they were written about in the prophecies, all right? So this is 2nd Ezra's, and that's giving these people an uneasy feeling, because they're seeing all of this and they're hearing it on the news, right? And all these different media outlets and sources, okay? Let's go to verse 1. "And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire." Right. So this ship actually is going to be shooting out lasers. Okay. Going on, it says at verse 5, "And after this I beheld, and lo, there were gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heavens to subdue the man that came out of the sea." Okay, and you can match this up basically if you're looking at Joel 3, okay, the war in Armageddon, all right, in the Valley of Decision, right, Yahweh Shaphat, okay, the Middle East, and these nations are starting to gather themselves together now, okay. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself, Slakia. Let me go back. Yeah, that's right. Verse 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. Right. This quote-unquote spaceship or UFO was so huge that it looked like a flying mountain. Okay? That's how big it is. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet do his fight, right? All these other nations, when this thing really jumps off, are going to stop fighting each other and then try to fight Yahushua and the angels, okay? Because the destruction is coming, and at that time, the Lord is going to gather also his elect, right? And beam them up, as it says in, I want to say it's Revelation 13, I could be wrong, where it says, come up hither, okay? Going on, it says, verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, right? Those are the mouth of the laser beams, all right, where the laser beams are coming out of the ship. Okay? And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire and flaming breath and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which were prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke, right there, all being blasted, all right, with the lasers from the chariot. Okay, and all that was left was dust. Okay, and so you have to think some of these aircraft, they're made of steel or iron or metal or Teflon or whatever they're using, nothing is left but dust. That's how concentrated the lasers are, if you will, all right, if you could just imagine it. When I saw this, I was afraid, you see. So that's how the Lord is going to deliver his elect, but he's also going to put the smack down, right, on Babylon the Great and all the wicked, okay? This is Zechariah 5:1, and it reads, Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth from the face of the whole earth, for everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. So the destruction will be coming, as Zechariah said, right, out of these flying rolls. Excuse me. You see? So these are the chariots that will be coming. Okay? Going on to Jeremiah 50, and we'll jump in right here, 23. It says, Woe to the hammer of the whole earth. Salakia, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? You see? So it's talking about not ancient Babylon in that regard, but a future Babylon. Okay? Salakia. And verse 24, it says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware, thou art found and also caught. Wow. Because thou hast striven against the Lord hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord power of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. And these Edomites are likened unto the Chaldeans of ancient times because they're running the place. All right. Verse 26, come against her from the uttermost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as a heap and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. Slay all her bullocks, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for their day is come, the time of their visitation. The voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of the Lord. So the Lord has vengeance. Right? He's going to bring out, he's going to bring his vengeance, his fury, and he's going to pour it out upon Babylon. All right? Vengeance of the Lord, our power, the vengeance of his temple. Call together the archers against Babylon, right? These other nations are going to come against Babylon, all right? So that's how these nukes are going to start flying. All ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her works. According to her work, according to all that she hath done, do unto her. For she hath been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. Right, and that's America. Okay, being proud, right? That whore that sitteth upon the beast is proud, a proud whore, right? Which is run by the Edomites. Okay. Verse 30, therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day. Saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud. Saith the Lord power of hosts, for thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee. And the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about him. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah will press together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. And where did that happen? Right here in Babylon the Great. Okay? Where we all, as the whole nation, not every single person, right? Every single person of the nation, because why? We're all scattered throughout the earth, but a majority of us, right, are held captive here in this place for hundreds of years, okay? First with the 10 tribes that came into the Americas, whether it be South America, Central America, North America, okay, the Caribbean islands and so forth, all right? And then later they brought the Southern Kingdom over here in the hull of them ships, right? And brought the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Okay? Verse 34, their Redeemer is strong, the Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. Right? And a lot of these people are disquieted now, you know, even like that lady, right? She don't sound like she in the truth, okay? But she know something is up, right? And as she said, her and her husband, and they ain't going nowhere, they ain't doing nothing. They just gonna buy another generator, right? But you got Jake out here too busy trying to fly all over the world, take all these different little cruises, you know, they going to Nassau and the Bahamas and doing this and doing that. You know, our people busy trying to enjoy themselves, and they're not preparing themselves for the coming of the Lord. They're not prepared for this day of wrath that's about to hit us. Okay? The sword is upon the Chaldeans, saith the Lord, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon her princes, and upon her wise men. All right? You see Sleepy Creepy Joe and all these people in the House of Representatives and the senators and congressmen and lobbyists and so on and so forth. Okay? All right? They're not ready. They don't know what's getting ready to happen. Some of them do, but for the majority of them, you know, they're going on with their day as if nothing is going to happen, that they're going to continue to prosper in whatever field they're in. You see? Verse 37, the sword is upon their houses and upon their chariots and upon all the mingled people that were in the midst of her, and they shall become as women. A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. And drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up, for it is the land of the graven images, and they are mad upon their idols. Right? Look at all the graven images that you have, right? Fake false, Serapis Christos, right? Caesar Borgia, all their idols of their fake gods and their idols of all their superstars and superheroes and so on and so forth. Okay, this is a place of nothing but pure idolatry, right? Where people have gotten to the point where they worship themselves. Okay? Verse 39, therefore the wild beast of the desert with the wild beasts of the islands shall dwell there, and the owls shall dwell therein, and it shall be no more inhabited forever, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, as Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities thereof, saith the Lord, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. That's right. And you don't hear nobody that say that that's where they from. All right, so this place is going to be wiped off the map. All right, it's going to be a nothing but a wilderness, a desert. You don't get on a plane and meet some dude and say, hey, man, those some nice shoes. Yeah, I got these in Sodom. Or I got these from Gomorrah. Right? You don't hear nobody say that. You see? And that's how Babylon the Great's going to be. Going on, let's go over here to Isaiah 31 and just jump in right here at the top. And it reads, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. Right, that's how people who think that this place is going to go on forever, you know, so that they could keep getting their little goodies that they get here, right? And in particular, yeah, you know, 2/3 of our women, you know, in that two-thirds bracket, if you will, right, who rely on the system, all right, to get all their little trinkets and all their little goodies and to raise their lifestyle, okay. That's who they rely on. They rely on Uncle Sam to give them everything they need. They trusted in Egypt. And shit, you got men who's doing it too, you know. Verse 2, yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. Now the Egyptians are men and not God, and the horses flesh and not spirit. When the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that helpeth shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. For thus hath the Lord spoken unto me, like as the lion and the young lion roaring on their prey, when a multitude of shepherds is called forth against them. He will not be afraid of their voice, nor abase himself for the noise of them. So shall the Lord of hosts come down to fight for Mount Zion and for the hill thereof. You see, so the Lord is going to do our fighting for us. Going on to verse 5 and say, as birds flying, so will the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua of hosts deliver or defend, Salakia, defend Jerusalem, defend it also he will deliver it. See, and passing over, he will preserve it. So the Lord is going to do our fighting for us, right? And those birds flying, you know, the rank and file of the host of heaven will be with Yahushua, all right, when he delivers his elect, okay? This will be the last scripture here. This Luke 21:25, and it reads, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth, distress of nations, right? So everybody's going to be in distress. With perplexity, everybody's going to be perplexed, confused, not knowing what's going on, what's going to happen. How's this thing going to turn out? You see, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear. See, and you see these people, as we saw in those two clips, they're fearful already. And nothing's happened yet, per se, right? But there are many out there who feel that way. And for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. All right? The Lord, Yahushua, coming back in his chariot. Okay? And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up. He didn't say look down, look to the east, look to the west. He said look up. Okay? And that's where the chariots will be coming from. From you looking up, you'll see them. Okay? Then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Our redemption draweth nigh. Right? Our deliverance is at hand. Okay? So anyway, I just wanted to touch on that. Since I had those clips, I got them yesterday, I believe, and wanted to try to get a lesson up. But, it's all good. Spirit had me do it now. So anyway, Lord willing, that was edifying, people, out there to watch the video. You get something out of it, and you understand that day of trouble is coming for those of the world. But for those who are repentant and believe in the names of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua and the truth of what the Bible is actually speaking of, okay, you don't have a thing to worry about. Just stay prayed up. The Lord is going to deliver us, no matter how rough it looks or how rough it gets. Just know, keep the faith, okay, that the Lord will deliver us in that day. All right. So with that, I end the lesson. All right. Shalom.